The whiteboard in your office holds no prices. It holds proofs. You are 24 years old. You earn $51,000 a year. You have never owned a Bloomberg terminal. That is, to certain people in certain rooms, your most important qualification. Level 1, the doctoral candidate. The program is 5 years, occasionally 6. The discipline is mathematics, statistics, theoretical physics, or computational science. The institution name is load-bearing. A short list: MIT, Chicago, Caltech, Princeton, Cambridge if you crossed an ocean. Your annual stipend sits between $46,000 and $68,000. Tuition is covered. Health insurance covers the basics. In the city where your department lives, the stipend means splitting rent with one other person and abandoning any budget spreadsheet after the 3rd month, because the exercise provides no relief. Your assignment is to establish truth, not to model behavior, not to produce anything a quarterly report could measure. To establish truth, the kind that cannot be revised by new data, only extended by new questions. 2 mornings a week you teach undergraduate linear algebra to keep your funding intact. Your real work occurs at the intersection of 2 disciplines that do not yet share notation. That boundary is the thesis. In year 2, your first paper appears in print. A narrow result in stochastic differential geometry. Precise, unremarkable in scope. It will be cited by 11 subsequent papers over the following decade, most in domains you have never entered. You will not notice. In year 3, the thesis acquires a skeleton. You understand the answer before you can demonstrate it. The distance between understanding and demonstration is your permanent address. It does not feel like suffering. It feels like being fully occupied. Year 4, a workshop in Philadelphia. You present the opening chapter of your dissertation to a room of 38 people. 33 are academics. 5 are not. One of the 5 approaches you at the break between sessions. He carries no business card with a firm name, just a name, a number, and a handwritten note on playing card stock. He tells you he encountered your preprint on non-stationary covariant structures, and that he found it worth reading. He says worth reading the way someone says it when they mean we have been looking for you. You write to him that evening. The first conversation happens 11 days later. They ask about your research direction, your expected defense timeline, whether you have considered how your methods might behave in systems where the error distribution has heavy tails and no closed form. You say you have not thought about that specifically. You say yes to the implicit question beneath it. You do not know the firm's name. You do not know what asset classes it trades, how many people it employs, or what it has returned since inception. You know that someone outside the university has read the preprint and believes it has applications. In 4 years of doctoral work, that has not happened before. The defense is 8 months away. The card sits in the back of your notebook. What you do not yet know: you passed the first evaluation 3 months before you knew evaluations were occurring. The introductory call was not introductory. There will be 5 more before the word offer appears in any sentence. Level 2, junior researcher. There were 5 more conversations. Then 3 days of in-person assessment, probability derivations, a session on combinatorial reasoning that stretched past its scheduled time, an hour in a quiet room where a senior researcher handed you an unfamiliar proof structure and observed how you navigated it when the pathway was not obvious. You recovered most of it. No one told you which parts. The offer arrived 4 weeks later. One of the names that means something in this field. Systematic, fundamentals agnostic, known for treating a doctorate in mathematics the way an investment bank treats a degree from a target institution. Total first-year compensation, $390,000. Base salary, $165,000. Signing bonus, $75,000. Guaranteed year 1 performance allocation, $150,000. You verify the calculation 4 times. You deposit the signing payment and feel something adjacent to disorientation because the number has no reference point yet. You are 27. The office contains 18 researchers overseeing $5.5 billion in deployed capital. No open trading floor. No televisions showing price feeds. People at individual workstations with external monitors and spiral notebooks. The quiet resembles a library. The output does not. Your purpose is to locate signals. A signal is a statistical regularity in observable data that predicts future price movement with sufficient edge to survive execution costs and persist long enough to justify deployment. That definition is clean. The work is not. Your first 3 months involve reading factor pricing literature, alternative data methodology, market impact models, regime decomposition frameworks. You annotate compulsively. No one instructed you to. The annotations are your map of the territory already surveyed, the dead ends already reached, the methods already abandoned. Your first signal memorandum takes 4 weeks to complete. Systematic analysis of nighttime satellite imagery correlated with freight shipment anomalies as a predictor of supply chain earnings surprises. Backtested information ratio of 1.3. You presented in 13 minutes. The portfolio manager reads the summary page in 3 minutes. He says, no elaboration. You spend 3 days attempting to identify the failure. You cannot. Your second memorandum. An asymmetric options pricing pattern in equity index derivatives during the 72 hours preceding major central bank communications. 9 weeks of construction. The portfolio manager finishes the summary, sets it down, and says, this has something. You learn later that this is the most favorable language he has used with any researcher in 8 months. The signal enters the book. It runs in live conditions for 4 months. It holds out of sample. You never learn what it contributes to P&L. You do not ask. Asking would demonstrate that you have not yet understood the distinction between the researcher's domain and the portfolio manager's domain. 18 months later, at a team working lunch, someone mentions a number without prefacing it, the way you mention something that requires no explanation. A signal a researcher developed 6 years ago is still running in active strategies. Cumulative contribution since deployment, somewhere north of $290 million. The researcher left the firm after 2 years. He runs a small investment office in Colorado now, mostly family assets. His signal is still running. It will still be running after he has stopped thinking about it. It will outlive his awareness of it. You do not sleep well that night. You are not frightened. You are computing. Level 3, research scientist. The computation settled into a direction you could follow. The signal persists. You will not. That asymmetry is not a warning. It is the job description. You are 31. Total compensation this year, $720,000. The number is accurate, and you have largely ceased to register it. What commands your attention is the thing you are constructing. You own a strategy now, not a single signal, but a systematic framework that operates across 37 instruments in 4 asset classes, integrating 28 individual signals through a unified risk model. You did not originate all 28. Several were begun by researchers who departed before completion. You inherited their code bases, audited their assumptions, identified what had ceased to hold in current regimes, and rebuilt from the interior. This is called research. It resembles excavation more than construction. The central problem at this level is capacity. Your strongest performing signal has an effective capital ceiling of roughly $175 million. Beyond that threshold, the positions become large enough relative to available daily liquidity that execution begins affecting the instrument being traded. The signal starts consuming its own edge. The edge degrades. You spend 5 months engineering a variant designed to function at scale. You present the capacity constraint and the attempted solution with full transparency. The portfolio manager considers it briefly. You return to your workstation and begin a new direction. The schedule is not punishing in the manner of an investment bank. You choose to work 60 hours a week. The pressure is self-generated. Stretches of 4 months can pass where every hypothesis fails to survive out of sample testing. The market changes its regime structure. The correlation patterns that held in one configuration dissolve in the next. Prior signals go silent. The process restarts. You write an internal research paper for the firm's annual conference. It is the most technically rigorous work you have produced in your career. No one outside this building will encounter it. Then a search consultant calls. Not about a research position. About a portfolio management seat at a multi-manager platform with $9 billion under management. Independent book. Independent capital allocation authority. He says you would control your own signals, your own sizing decisions, your own risk parameters. You ask how much capital. He says it depends what you arrive with. You wait 4 weeks before responding. When you do, you tell him you are not prepared. This is an accurate statement. You know precisely what you still lack before prepared means something in a context where performance is the only metric and the assessment is permanent. 3 more years, you tell yourself. 3 more years building something you would be willing to stake a career on. Level 4, Senior Researcher. 3 years. You are 34. Total compensation this year, $1.35 million. Your signals run inside 17 active strategies. You did not develop all 17, but you understand all 17, which are structurally sound, which are regime-dependent, which rest on microstructure assumptions that could be disrupted by a single regulatory change. You maintain this map internally because consolidating it in a single document would create the kind of security exposure the firm's legal team treats as non-negotiable. The NDA discussion occurred again last spring. Not the standard onboarding paperwork, a different version. The firm's attorneys. A small room. 2 hours and 40 minutes. Every model, every dataset, every signal architecture, every line of code you have produced here belongs to the firm. If you depart, you may not participate in systematic trading for 24 months. You may not discuss the firm's methods, data infrastructure, signal logic, or portfolio construction approach in any form that could be identified as originating here. You signed. The terms were not a surprise. They were the structure. What you understand at this level that you could not have seen earlier, the edge is not located in the signals individually. It lives in the combination. The way 28 signals interact through a risk model across shifting regimes, the correlation architecture that holds the system together under stress. The portfolio construction layer is where the firm's true intellectual property resides. It is the least portable element, the most collaborative to build, and the hardest to reconstruct in isolation. You have been in the room where that layer is discussed. You understand enough of it to be considered dangerous, which is why a different kind of conversation also happened. The portfolio manager came to your workstation on a Wednesday afternoon and said a book was opening. Independent capital, independent management, 10% of net gains generated. He stated the number in the same tone someone uses to read an arrival time. You asked for a week. You spent the week designing the risk framework you would actually run. Not the signals, you have those. The drawdown protocols, the regime detection thresholds, the escalation procedures for when the model's core assumptions are being violated faster than the model's update cycle can absorb. You gave yourself 6 days to locate a structural flaw you could not resolve. You did not find one. On the 7th day, you returned to his workstation and said yes. The portfolio manager. You are 37. You manage $750 million in capital. Not advise. Not support. Manage. Base salary, $200,000. In isolation, that number was significant at level 2. Here it is the fixed component of a different arrangement. 10% of net gains. In a strong year, your book returns 14%. That is $105 million in generated performance. Your portion, $10.5 million. In an exceptional year, higher. In a loss year, the base continues and nothing else does. No one supervises you. No one reviews your research memos. Every morning the terminal opens and the positions have updated overnight. The update is an assessment of your prior thinking. You lost $26 million across 11 trading days in March when a volatility regime rotated faster than your correlation matrix had been calibrated to detect. Your physiological response to that number has been absent since roughly month 8. It is a value with the wrong sign. It initiates a specific corrective sequence. You reduce the positions, document the model's assumption failures, revise the framework, and continue. You are correct roughly 53% of the time in this industry. That places you among the better practitioners. The remaining 47% keeps the work honest. The isolation is genuine in a way nothing in your earlier career prepared you for. At the research level, you had team dynamics, a portfolio manager's desk to orbit, an internal conference structure. At this level, there is only the position and the market's daily adjudication of it. The position is a hypothesis. The market delivers the ruling. You have been running this book for 4 years. Your signals have maintained performance through 2 distinct interest rate environments, 1 significant credit disruption, and 1 prolonged volatility compression that your models suggested should have degraded 4 strategies, and did not. The machine is yours. The results are genuine. And then, at a research symposium in New York that you nearly skipped, someone on a panel mentions a number. Not to impress anyone. As a statement of fact, the room has already incorporated and moved past. 67% average annual gross return. 38 consecutive years. No negative years on record. You already knew the number. What you were not prepared for was how the room received it. No one leaned forward. No one asked for an explanation. The number was accepted the way a physical constant is accepted, as a property of the world that researchers work within and cannot alter. You turn that over for the entire flight home. 67% for 38 years is not a number the hedge fund industry produced. It is a number the hedge fund industry has spent 38 years failing to explain and has quietly accepted as permanent. The Medallion Fund is not a fund you can access. External investors were fully redeemed by 2005. Since then, it has held only employee capital, capped to preserve the strategy's capacity to function. The researchers in that building are not competing for access to the model. They are contributors to it, and all of them are invested in it. Every refinement any one of them introduces improves their own returns directly. The incentive structure is not separate from the architecture. The incentive structure is a core component of the architecture. The architecture is the edge. The agreements those researchers sign do not look like the agreements you signed. The restriction is not a 2-year cooling-off period. The scope is permanent and sufficiently broad that departing the firm means departing not just specific signals, but an entire framework for perceiving and processing markets. A framework the institution has spent 4 decades building inside its people. You will never see the model. There is no public venue where it is presented. There is no paper in any journal. The researchers who built the foundational signals are not public figures. Some of them have been dead for years. Their signals are still running. The system incorporated their contributions and continued without them, because the system was never dependent on any individual component. The system is designed to survive its own participants. Every systematic framework you have ever constructed, every signal you have ever developed, every risk model you have ever designed across 16 years of work, it is all a local approximation of something they solved at a structural level before most of the data you work with was being collected. You were not failing to reach them. There was no race. The race ended before you had the vocabulary to describe what winning would require. Somewhere on Long Island, in a building with no identifying signage, a researcher who has not left in 23 years is running a new test on a dataset that has not yet appeared in the academic literature. The result will be incorporated into a model you will never see. The model will continue running for decades after the researcher is gone. Several signals already have. Your terminal shows the Asian session opening. The overnight positions have updated. You check the correlation matrix, review the risk report, flag 2 signals approaching their regime thresholds. The machine you have built is real. The results are genuine. The work matters. It is also not the best machine in the world. It never has been. You go back to work.